One of the 7 danger signs you're going in the wrong direction. Mr. Angry. Now, is that you? Have you ever seen a flare go off or an explosion? Now, when that happens, things change. Now, a very good friend of mine works very closely with people about anger issues. And he says, anger's not a bad emotion, but it's not a great place to live. So you don't want to stay there. Do you ever see red? That's the place we want to get away from, right? And we got to man up, because it ain't where we want to hang out. Do you kick off? That knee-jerk reaction? It's never any good, is it? So what is it that triggers that? Now that's the key thing to consider. What is it that's triggering you off? Now we have to be responsible for our lives and our futures. Are you going in the right direction? Now these 7 signs, just to pay attention and be aware and to make sure you're not going in the wrong direction. And anger is one of them. So how do you stop it? Now you need to just really get present to what is triggering you. Are you taking a mind-altering substance? Does that trigger you? Drink, drugs, sex, rock and roll? Does that trigger you? Some people get triggered when they have a few beers. Now if that's the case, you got to consider maybe not drinking, giving that up. Because if that's impacting you and impacting your life and your relationships, that's the place to look. Are you in denial? Some people are. It's all about responsibility. Because once you get responsible, then the future will occur different. Now, anger, it doesn't work. Now, I've been there myself. I get triggered, I've been triggered. But what I've learned to do these days is kind of manage myself. So I know you know that I meditate most days. I'm in that kind of world of, I find it easier now to interrupt my thought patterns. So when a trigger may get ignited, and I can think things through differently, because I've trained my brain to do such things and just allow myself time before I react and respond, which is not easy, because those triggers is an automatic response. The reptilian part of our brain gets triggered and away we go. So that's mastery of self. It's not easy, but it's a journey worth considering and one taken on. Now you may have deep-rooted anger, which you may need to go and have therapy for. That may help, but you don't have to. It's just first and foremost, it's to acknowledge and recognize that you do get angry. And what is the trigger? So you've got to take the trigger away and manage yourself differently. What is that? And that's a danger sign, because if you continue to live your life that way, you're on red alert all the time. It's not good for anybody, especially for you. So take it on the chin, Mr. Angry, or indeed Mrs. Angry. We're all one and the same. So pay attention, don't get angry.